My friend's daughter one day announced to her parents that she wants to live in and she doesn't want to get married. And in today's scenario, where divorces are so rampant, and after post-divorces there are heirship issues and property issues, is live-in relationship acceptable? What is your opinion?
Live-in relationship is marriage outside marriage.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because you're living together. In marriage also you're living together. But you have an endorsement of a certificate given by the society that you are authorized to live together. In a live-in relationship, there is no certificate which authorizes you to live together. You have chosen to live together. Problems of association are still the same.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Because when I live with you, there is an expectation. You expect something from me, I expect something from you. And then when there is an expectation, there is a possibility of fulfillment and there is a possibility of disappointment. So all issues related to fulfillment and disappointment will exist.
Yes, they will.
A piece of certificate doesn't change the reality of day-to-day living, right? Now you brought another subject of property and division of property. That also exists. Ye mera, ye tera. I have shared this with you. So 50% belongs to me. Dispute will exist. The issue is about living together, and there lies the key. You have agreed to live together. You have not agreed to separate. Whether you call it marriage or you call it live-in relationship, the key factor is that we are going to live together. And that is where the issue is, because people don't understand the meaning of living together. Now you raise this issue of today's generation not wanting marriage. Again, go back 30-40 years where marriages were arranged by parents. Why? Because there is a style of upbringing.
Yeah.
You have brought up your child in a particular style, in a particular tradition, in a particular culture. Your child will be comfortable with a partner who has been brought up in an identical culture, tradition, norms, and therefore the concept of arranged marriage, so that the compatibility issue is taken care of, or so they thought. Then came the concept of love marriage, where diverse cultures merged in the form of marriage.
Yeah.
People from different religions, people from different countries, people from different languages, they came together. Issues were more complex because there is a whole lot of adjustment which a particular cultivated individual has to now adapt to. Then came the subject of joint family and nuclear family. All these are, what are these things? If you look at it in the holistic view, these are all adjustments. Whenever you engage in a relationship, there is a concept of adjustment. The success and the failure depends on the degree to which each individual is willing to adjust.
Yes.
Because there is a compromise, there is a sacrifice involved in any relationship. If you are not willing for compromise, if you are not willing for sacrifice, then there is bound to be conflict. And when there is a conflict, the degree of conflict decides whether the relationship continues to exist or the relationship breaks. When it is marriage, you call it a divorce. And when it is a live-in relationship, you call it a separation. So essentially, you are not talking two different subjects. You are only talking a difference about endorsement by a certificate.
So then why is live-in relationship looked down upon by society?
So anything that does not fit in the current framework of the society will always be looked down upon. Again, going back to my grandfather's time, a love marriage was looked down upon.
Yes.
It was still a legal, officially approved marriage, but it was looked down upon.
Yeah.
So looking down upon is not uncommon. It didn't fit my framework, therefore it is looked down upon. Live-in relationship doesn't fit into if you are talking of India. It doesn't fit into the Indian framework. It is slowly taking roots now, but it always existed in Western society.
Yes, sir.
Live-in relationships always existed in Western society. And we used to say, how can they live like that without marriage? But it was a norm. In Western society, people lived together simply for the physical part of it. I am your sex buddy. I mean, it is a terminology which is used in the Western society. So we come together only for the purpose of sex, nothing else.
It's also called friends with benefits or something.
Whatever you call it, the terminology is not important. I am only saying that a relationship exists for certain purposes. Even an official marriage is a contract. The Marriage Act is essentially a contract. There are terms of association and there are terms of dissociation. What is alimony? It's a term of dissociation. So as long as you are contracting into an engagement, you are also contracting into disengagement. How do you look at it from the social point of view or the legal point of view is a matter of a document. That does not change the human factor. And that is why I constantly maintain that people marry without understanding the purpose of marriage. A live-in relationship can be more harmonious than a formal marriage.
As far as the commitment and the integrity is there in the relationship.
As long as there is joy in the relationship.
Yes.
Forget the commitment and the integrity. I have joy in relating with this person at whatever level, be it for a dinner. That's also a relationship. No, I am having dinner with a person I like. Okay, it may not be my partner. It may be somebody else. It may not be a person of the opposite sex. It may be a person of the same sex. But I enjoy the company of that person. Many wives have these complaints. शादी तो मेरे से किया, लेकिन बीवी तो उसका स्कूल का दोस्त है. Many wives have this complaint. Why? Because the association is harmonious and joyful.
Joyful.
Abhi there the wife does not have objection because the friend is of the same sex and she knows that the husband is not gay.
Yeah, then it is.
Imagine the husband is also gay or is bisexual.
Bisexual.
Then the wife will object to him meeting that male friend for a dinner.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we are not talking of marriage or live-in relationship. We are talking of association and feelings.
Association.
Are you happy in associating with this individual? Do you have feelings for this individual? That matters. With or without marriage. Society looking down upon, society looks down upon so many things. Kya kapda pehna hai? Is it not looking down upon your dress sense?
Yeah.
But it is my choice to wear these kind of clothes. You commonly hear बड़े भाई का कुर्ता और छोटे भाई का पैजामा. Is it not a criticism of dress sense? But it is my choice. And I am okay with it.
So finally, not only commitment and integrity, but the joy of being in that relationship
Absolutely.
should
Absolutely.
take the last.
All relationships are supposed to be enjoyed. The minute you stop enjoying a relationship, whether it is endorsed by law or not, it doesn't make sense to be in that relationship, which is hurtful.
In the older generation, now when the kids are abroad and every house is like an empty nest, if one loses a spouse and then finds someone who they have the joy of being in association with, is it a good option at that age particularly?
Age is not a factor in the relationship. Yeah? Joy is a factor. Now, if somebody finds joy in a relationship after the spouse has expired, what is wrong? Is it my crime that my spouse is no longer with me? Am I not entitled to my share of joy because I continue to live? Should I live in भूली हुई यादें? Should I live in sorrow? आंसू भरी ये जीवन की राहें. Am I not entitled to my piece of joy? Am I not entitled to take that joy as long as I am not hurting somebody?
Somebody else. Yes, that of course. Yeah.
So, if you don't want to re-engage in another marriage, and if you feel that a live-in relationship will give you the joy of companionship or whatever it is that you want to satisfy as your need, financial security, physical needs, emotional security, you are entitled to it. Society will comment on it because it doesn't fit their pattern. As long as you are not doing anything that harms the society, as long as you are not indulging into universal crime, the law of the land may not permit you. That's why I'm saying universal crime. Crime against humanity. If the law of the land doesn't permit you, and if you still do certain things, then yes, you are liable for punishment according to the law of the land. But as a human relationship, you are seeking joy, nothing wrong in it, and you found joy in somebody's association. Wonderful, go ahead. And as you said, children are settled abroad.
Yeah.
The nest is empty. I need a vibrant nest. What's wrong? Now, taking this a little further, live-in relationship means permanently moving in with somebody or allowing somebody to move in with you. It could be a temporary live-in. I move in for a certain period of time and then I'm not there for a certain period of time. As long as both individuals are happy and both individuals are not hurting somebody and both individuals are not breaking any law of the land, why should that be an issue?
What about the children's opinion? The kids' opinions on
The kids are part of the society.
Yeah.
It is as much important as the society's opinion. The child wants you to be in sorrow. Think of my father, don't think of another human being. It's his way of thinking. Am I not entitled to joy? My child is not willing to understand that. My father or my mother needs a companion and they find joy having found another companion. So I'm okay with it. They don't have that maturity. Their choice. I'm not going to change their choice. It is futile for me to even attempt that.
Yeah.
From my point of view, it is a statement that I am seeking joy and this is the place I am getting joy. I am not hurting anybody. I am not going illegal and I am fulfilling my need. Period. But I feel hurt. Why are you hurt? Have I deprived you of anything? No, you're insulting my father's memory. In what way am I insulting your father's memory? The problem is we don't vocalize our thoughts and feelings. And therefore there is a
We
confusion.
actually many a times assume
Yeah.
may not be the truth also.
Yes.
So you need to vocalize your...
You need to communicate.
You need to
Basically, you need to communicate.
Yeah, with your kids, with the society, whatever.
So, to wrap this up, I don't think live-in relationship is new. When mankind was old, I don't think there was an institution of marriage. So, people lived together. So, it's a cycle that has come round to the same stage again. Association is the law of life. You cannot live alone. A man cannot live alone and continue the progeny of the human race. He has to associate with a woman. Likewise, a woman cannot live alone and continue the progeny of the race. Marriage, whether it exists or not, in whatever framework of law that the society has drafted at different points of time in life, it will come and it will go. Association will never go.